Welcome to Real Estate Live, a real estate show where we discuss and analyze the market and interview exciting guests. Your host is international speaker and author, JC Melvin. A brand new show is broadcast every Tuesday and is available for viewing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And now, for this week's show, here's JC.
Hello everybody and welcome to Real Estate Live and this week's show where we're going to focus on BPOs and REOs with Mr. Dan Waterman, who is the head guy and the CEO of the National Foreclosure Sales Training Institute. Dan's National Institute is probably the most recognized REO certification and institute in America. Dan recently did a program here in the Las Vegas area and I got a chance to catch up with him. So I've got some clips of that interview. And I asked him about the certification and what it meant to be one of the top certifications in America and how it was working for him.
They're going to work with REOs. There hasn't traditionally been any kind of designation either available or required. So what we did was we came in and we provided that. You've done the training, you're ready to go. They don't have to worry about training you. That sets you just a head above everybody else.
I get agents crying to me every day saying, I'm too late, I should have gotten the REO business a long time ago. So I asked Dan Waterman that question. Watch his answer.
One of the perceptions around the country is that if you're an agent and you're not already in the REO business, you've already missed it. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay. Why is it false and how much longer do they have to get into the REO business?
It's false for a couple of reasons. One, there's more business growing every day. So there's more than these people can handle. We need more help. The other reason being is that there's people that aren't doing the job that have gotten business and they're being let go. Places need to be filled.
As we continued talking about 2009, the question came up, how long does it take for an agent to get up to speed in their REO business if they're new at it? This is what Dan had to say.
We're looking at 2009 as one of the biggest years ever in REO. And it can sometimes only be a matter of weeks, maybe a month, a couple of months before you make that breakthrough. And there's still plenty of time, this being early 2009. Even if you're as late as mid-2009, that's plenty of time. It's going to carry over into 2010 as well.
Let me step away from Dan for just a minute again, because on last week's show I mentioned that we were going to focus on what's happening in Nevada law with the BPOs. So I've got here the broker price opinion information bulletin number 14 that the real estate division put out. And it says here, who can perform the BPO? Basically, it says right there, real estate licensees may complete the BPO for buyers, sellers of real property for the purposes of listing, sales, exchanges, options, purchase, rents, leases, but never for lending or appraisal purposes. So in my communication with the real estate division and with the appraisal division, what we've come up with, or my understanding, is that real estate licensees can in fact do BPOs. The other thing that's in the information packet is the when is performing a BPO against the law, and that basically says when a licensee prepares a BPO for any reason other than listing, sales, exchanges, options, purchases, rents, or leases of real property and receives compensation, they have violated NRS, or Nevada Revised Statute 645C. Now that's the application that applies to real estate appraisers. Basically what this says, if we melt it down, what's it mean? It means if you're doing a BPO for lending purposes, you're in violation of the law. You can't do a BPO to replace an appraisal. However, if it's to help somebody sell a property or list a property or exchange a property or for an option or a lease or rent, it's okay. So I talked to Dan, I said, what about this whole BPO? We've had a big scare in our state, and I know many other states are concerned about it. What about BPOs, and is it a good idea if agents want to get into the REO business, should they be doing BPOs? Here's how that looked.
Absolutely. There is no better starting point. Before you ever get an REO assignment, you're going to have to do the broker price opinion. Not only that, but the biggest concern that I hear from agents is, how do I get into the business, when they're always asking for experience or references? Well, this is the best place to start. Not only that, but it's going to give you a very keen sense of the community that you're doing the broker price opinion in. You're going to understand your market all better, and you're going to become an expert. That's just going to lead to more and more experience.
Next, I asked Dan if he thought it was a good time to get in the real estate business.
What do you think?
I think it's a really good time for really high, top-notch professionals to get into the real estate business.
I also asked Dan, for those around the country that may be watching this, what other cities will you be in and when will you be there?
Yeah. The target cities are, for February, we're set for mid-February to San Diego. I'm going to be shooting for Miami and Fort Lauderdale in March and April. Moving over to Dallas, May, and then we're going to go to Northern California in June, and we're going to try and get in Cleveland and Detroit right in between there.
Then I closed with asking Dan, do you have any closing tips for the agents that are out there that are working hard? What do you think they ought to be doing based on everything that you're seeing?
Get out there, market yourself strong, get the right tools in place, and get a plan.
Thanks again, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Well, that about wraps our show up for this week, and a special thanks to Dan Waterman from the National Foreclosure Sales Training Institute. What a great insight to what's happening in the REO business. Go to his website if you want to get more information. This is JC Melvin with Real Estate Live, and I'll see you next week with a new show.